Good morning, class. Just wanted to go over a few things in reference to your assignment on prejudice. Got the piece right here. Just want to kind of lead you around some of the things that I want you to pay attention to in this chapter, and some of the things that I don't, frankly, don't want you to worry about at all. Going down the outline of the chapter here in the beginning, you need to cover hate crimes, prejudice, and discrimination. Um, in the theories of prejudice section, you need to know all of those except for the authoritarian personality theory. I don't think it's explained very well in the chapter, and I think it just leads to stereotyping certain types of media personalities more than it gets to an actual kind of personal take on what prejudice is and kind of the mentality behind it. So scratch authoritarian personality theory off of your outline there. Don't worry about that. Then worrying going into the next section, the content of prejudice, stereotypes, knowing what stereotypes are. Also, I want you to know the difference between a stereotype and a stigma. Um, Look up the word. I'll probably post it on the announcements as well. There is the notion of a stereotype, which the chapter gives a definition for that. And there's also a definition for a stigma, which is similar to a stereotype, but with a nuanced difference that we'll talk about later on. Then let's see here, national media, national what's that? Trends and stereotypes. There is a chart. Um, I don't know what page it's on right now, but there's a chart there that looks at 3 different years in a number of ethnic groups, and there is a prejudice scale. So if you look at the bottom of that chart, you'll see that there's a number on the bottom of each of those scales that indicates the direction that prejudice is moving. Um, so that's pretty much what I want to go into. We're not going to worry. We're not going to delve too heavily as far as the exam is concerned in some of these last aspects of the chapter, particularly the mood of the oppressed, the intergroup hostility, Arab Americans, and American Muslims, and reducing prejudice. Don't worry about those last sections. What we want to do is we want to give you guys some definitions about prejudice, some theories of how people apply prejudice to different groups. And then this last stuff that's covered at the end of the chapter, we will actually take our own twists and turns on some of those ideas as we get into some of the other texts. So this is the last supplemental reading we'll have until we go into Degler. So I want you to get those, knock out those points. The assignment is going to be in reference to one, hate crimes. What is the usefulness of hate crimes if you think about the fact that they're crimes already? So, how does the notion of prejudice or the notion of historical stereotypes ramp up this notion such that we get the idea of hate crimes? And your question is the idea of a hate crime a useful idea or is it a non useful idea? That's question one. Um, Question two is in reference to prejudice and discrimination section, Merton's typology and LaPierre's study. Your question is, what can someone learn about the results of these two studies? What can somebody learn about prejudice and discrimination about these two studies that they might not readily know, not having talked about some of these things in detail? And then, let's see here. Our third question is going to be, give me an example of how, an example that's not in the chapter itself. Give me an example of how each of these theories of prejudice gets used on groups, and they could be in the subordinate group or in the dominant group. Give me an example of how these theories of prejudice actually work when people use them. So just give me an example of somebody that holds a prejudice and kind of analyze that prejudice so that I can see that you know how that works. for midterm and exam purposes, you want to keep a working definition of prejudice. That's right there in the highlighted aspect. Prejudice is a negative attitude that rejects an entire group. Discrimination is behavior that deprives a group of certain rights or opportunities. So you got to know the definition or the distinguishing attributes of prejudice and discrimination. Prejudice is an attitude an attitude or an opinion, a held opinion, whereas discrimination is an act that puts that opinion into effect. Now, bonus question. 5 points added onto your score. Is prejudice always negative? If so, why? If not, how come? All right, so that's what I have right now. Get started on this. This will be due next Thursday, since we have the King holiday. I'll post that. I don't know what the date is, but I'll post it. It'll be due next Thursday. And good luck. And I will post another, I guess I won't call it an announcement or whatever. After I summarize all of the assignments when I get back, I'll probably post something to get you guys a general overview of how I'm receiving the assignments. And then we'll go on smoothly from there. All right? I hope you had a good Martin Luther King Day. I want you to keep in mind what you did on the King holiday or over the King weekend, because I will ask a question about this as we get into Derek Bell. Remember, what did you do on the King holiday weekend? Keep that in mind. All right. Hope you guys are having a great class so far. Email me if you have any problems. And if you're having problems seeing the supplemental readings, always contact the Blackboard help desk, because it could be something going on with the software. It could be a problem with me. I could have posted it wrong. But at any rate, contact them first, and then they'll let me know what the technical problems are. Any administrative problems, I'll deal with. All right. Good luck.